few years ago, my dear friend died of ovarian cancer. She left me bags and bags of the most beautiful scarves. Even though I had never sewed, I signed up for a textile class at the Roundhouse Makerspace and arrived with one of the bags. I said, "I want to make a quilt out of these." Without blinking, Judy sent me to work. In the following 2 years, I made 12 blankets and gave them as gifts to Elizabeth's loved ones. I also had a sweater from my youngest brother, who died many years ago in an avalanche while extreme skiing. I made it into a blanket and gave it to my mother for Christmas. She begins each day by wrapping herself in it, rubbing her face on the soft parts, and talking to him. She said she feels surrounded by his love. I am a college administrator, a psychology professor, a clinical psychologist, a workshop facilitator, and the author of Crossing the Owl's Bridge, a guide for grieving people who still love. The book offers folk tales and people's personal stories to illustrate creative outcomes to grieving. I have helped many people honor their loved ones in unique ways, but textiles hold a special charge, both symbolically and materially. Cloth is the repository of memories. It holds all manner of excretions, sweat, blood, skin, our smells. It can even hold our shape. The clothing of the deceased is often the last physical reminder of a cherished loved one, and working with the fabric, or even pictures printed on fabric, reconnects us to our physical senses of seeing, touching, smelling, at a time when the material person seems to have evaporated. The act of handling the clothing also allows space and time to reflect and reconstruct the lost person and carve out a place for them in our imaginations. It helps us with story making, or gathering the memories, photos, smells, textures, objects, habits, to make an integrity, or angel, if you will, that may carry us through our pain. There is something about cutting the fabric or releasing it from its historical state, which also unconsciously signals to the bereaved that they, too, can remake themselves. In my death and dying class at the Tahoe-Truckee Campus of Sierra College, I incorporated a memorial textile art project as a component of the course. With funding from the CCC Maker Movement, we set up a lab on our campus and used interns skilled in sewing to assist. The students were tasked with creating a memorial to anything they have grieved. It could be a pet, a person, a geographic location, a job, a romantic relationship, or even a lost sense of self. 23 students completed the process, and the final projects were beyond my wildest expectations.
Hi, my name is Lauren, and I'd like to share with you today my fidget quilt that I made for my mother, who is still with us. She has Alzheimer's, so I am grieving the loss of my mother's mind and my mom. I miss her. I made this fidget quilt for her with all kinds of tactile and sensory and stimulation objects. There's a zipper here for her, little fun tactile pearls, a belt that she can clasp and unclasp. Same thing with this buckle. My mom loves to eat chips, and so I put a special kind of paper inside this to make it sound like she's opening up a bag of chips. I enjoyed making this fidget quilt for my mom, and I had so many extra pieces that I've decided to make quilts, and I've actually completed one other fidget quilt, and once I have a stack of them, I plan on donating them to memory care or rehab facilities for others to enjoy.
I decided to make a tapestry in dedication to my grandmother, who raised me for 18 years and then passed away 2 years ago. I decided to start with a base fabric from a poncho that she actually used to wear, and it still kind of smells like her. And then I framed each photo with a piece of a sweater that she used to wear. But I found that this was a very healing process for me.
My name is Adrian Frutos, and I made the printing of this t-shirt as symbolic of my experience of some bad choices I made when I was a youth. I went to prison, and this music was what got me into prison and what got me through prison. Well, I printed out images and I sewed them onto the shirt, but there was a lot of emotion involved. As far I didn't realize.
She in the middle is my grandma, Anna or Anita. Like I said, she died when I was 2, so I don't really have any memories with her, but it's weird. I feel really connected to her all the time. Sometimes I feel really angry because I feel like she died way too soon, because she raised her 4 children, and then all of them are adults now, and they all came to the US, and they all have their families, and they're great people, and I just wish she could see what a great job she did.
I'm an artist, so each picture was printed onto fabric, and this one is from when I was about 4 or 5, and this one was from this year. It was really like therapeutic, which I didn't expect, and I came in like almost every week to work on it just because, I don't know, it's nice to take something that's been internal since I was like 5 years old to put it into visual terms. I think the pink side kind of represents like the childhood side and like what it kind of looked like on the outside, and this kind of represents what it looks like on the inside at that time, and this sort of represents what it looks like on the outside now, but this is kind of what it's on the inside now. I think it's been really helpful to kind of summarize my experiences and the trauma and just get it out.
My name is Ivan Martinez, and the textile project I decided to do on was on my mom, and I used an apron for that because my mom's a chef, and I did the cancer ribbon right here because that was for my uncle, which passed away, and when he passed away, it was a big hit in the family. And I put a note in, found the card, and I put this note in there for my mom. Mamá, eres una parte maravillosa de mi vida. Just mom, you're a marvelous part of my life. Y que recuerdes lo mucho que te quiero desde siempre y por siempre. Feliz Navidad. And remember how much I love you now and forever. Merry Christmas.
For my textile memorial art, I've decided to take the jeans of my kids, who are a junior and a senior, and so one will be graduating this year and leaving, and to keep this so that I always have their clothes and always have something from them. If you look throughout here, there's like darker ones and lighter ones, and like there's one in particular where you could see like where their little knees had worn a hole in them. And I also chose to make a quilt because my mother and my grandmother were both quilters, and we have more than one jean quilt in our family. My kids are gone and have families of their own. I will be able to wrap myself in their memories and have it forever.